After being on 6 cruise ships, 4 of them being Royal Caribbean ships, 1 Virgin Voyages ship, and 1 Disney ship long ago, I wanted to put together a list of the best bars and rank them 1 through 10, but realize it's so subjective and I can't really rank a number 1 bar. I decided to do them by category. So the first category that I have is the most immersive. I always love going to a place, especially on a cruise ship, that you're there and you're really getting caught up. And when you leave, you go out and you go, wow, I'm still on a cruise ship. You forgot you're on a cruise. So the one that does the best at that, and keep in mind, it was long ago when we went on the Disney Fantasy, it's called the Skyline Lounge. I did have to look up if it still exists on the ship, and the internet tells me it still does, but then the cities that they rotate are different. This is a small lounge. It's a quieter type, and we ended up making a lot of good friends there. What they do is they have several cities. Back when we visited, it rotated scenery from Athens, Barcelona, Paris, and some others. And the cool thing was that the menu had several drinks that you could pair with each city. And you have just a majestic backdrop going on HD screens that are surrounding the bar in the lounge. And if you go up close, you get some nice Easter eggs in there. And when we're peeking inside some of the windows, I swear you could see Jedis wearing robes. I'm sure they changed some of the Easter eggs these days. But then it's a really cool lounge. They have martini type of drinks where they have a glowing ice cube. We made sure that we took home plenty of those. But then it's the best spot as far as technology goes and whisking you away to somewhere else. The next spot happens to be the bar that's the best for live music. And keep in mind, there's places that are just entertainment venues, and we're not counting those. This is for bars and lounges. And this one happens to be Irish pubs that are located on the Oasis style ships, whether it's called Bow and Stearns, Globe and Atlas, and then I forget what the other one was that we went on. But then these are great because they're Irish style pubs that have solo performers. You'll often have someone just sitting there with a microphone and guitar, and then they get to play tunes that has the entire bar singing. Now, when we went, we got to first experience this bar on Oasis of the Seas, and this performer was really good. We ended up going back there 2-3 other nights later, and these bars also have a pretty good selection of drinks, as they should, because they're supposed to be calling themselves an Irish pub. They have good selection on draft and good selection for whiskey. Best spot to have conversation or just wind down for the night, it's the Schooner bars on the Oasis style ships. Well, it was also on Grandeur of the Seas and Independence of the Seas when we visited, Freedom of the Seas. But then kind of the same thing. These are bars that are nautical themed, pretty luxurious, usually have a piano somewhere in the bar, and it's just a quiet atmosphere. And when I say quiet, not as like library quiet, but where you could have conversational volume when you're talking to other people and not having to yell over music. That's of course when the piano player's not playing and there's no entertainment going on down below on the Royal Promenade. But even when that is going on, it doesn't get crazy loud if you're at the bar area. And the bar itself, it seems to be the type that solo travelers like to go to. People where their cabin mate is done for the night and they just wanted to grab an extra drink. So it's a great spot for meeting people, and it's also a great spot because of the vantage point on the top of the Royal Promenade for people watching. Best bar inside of restaurant, Pink Agave on Virgin Voyages ships. This is a smaller type of bar, just has only a few bar stools, and then there's a few seats on the other side of the bar. This place is small, but it packs quite a punch. They'll even have a DJ on some nights, and when we went, the DJ was there. Obviously, it's going to be loud when the DJ's there, so you do have to speak up and almost yell at each other during those times. But when there's no DJ there, It could be pretty chill. It's pretty relaxing with the backdrop of pink agave going on in the background. The mood is chill as well. You could meet a lot of people there. And P.S. don't forget to have a drink or a cocktail with crickets. The most gimmicky bar goes to Rising Tide on the Oasis style ships. I'm not sure if they have them on the newer big ships, but then on the Oasis style ships, it's a cool thing. It's gimmicky, of course. You enter usually on the Royal Promenade and you wait for the doors to close, and then the elevator does what the name implies. It rises, and Rising Tide goes all the way up to Central Park. You park on Central Park for a little bit. The doors do open up there. It's rare people will actually board up there, but I believe you can exit there. And honestly, it's kind of hit and miss, because if you imagine you go there with a good crowd, you actually don't want it. You don't ever want to get off. You go there with a dead crowd, you actually are sitting there and it seems to take forever to rise and go back down. You can't wait to get off. Check out my video, whether or not cruise ships water down drinks. This happens to be one of those where we experienced that. But all in all, it's one of those you have to do at least once you're on a Royal Caribbean ship. Bar with the best food, the Dockhouse bars on the Virgin Voyages ships. This is a type of place, obviously the menu isn't for everyone because everyone has different tastes. But for me as a bodybuilder, this happens to have plenty of options for proteins, and someone being from Southern California, you could even have some dishes with an exotic flair. So think shrimp skewers, chicken skewers, flat iron steak, and then I believe there's even a hummus dish there. This spot is healthy enough to a point where I was able to go to the gym for a couple hours, and then I was able to go to the Dockhouse as my post-workout meal. Cocktail-wise, they're not bad at all either. Just keep in mind that the only bar seating is an indoor area, and at least on Valiant Lady that we went on. And then outdoor, you pretty much just regulated to your groups, and it's kind of that lounge style seating that's on the wake side of the ship. Best all-around bar goes to On the Rocks on Virgin Voyages. This is a spot where it could be loud on one side, where you have live music, and then in the middle you have all the energy of any kind of proper bar that goes all the way around. Plenty of bar seating. It's just one huge bar in the middle, and then surrounding the bar and on the opposite end you have plenty of booths if you happen to be one of those that has a large group or a medium-sized group and just wants to kind of stick with your group. So for solo travelers, it's great. Just go ahead and pull up a seat to the bar. Groups, you could stay within your spot of the bar, whether you want a loud atmosphere next to the band or being far away. There's actually an isolated corner where you could, again, you could even if music's going on, you could talk at a conversational level and not have to yell over each other. Just a spot that's cool for either pre-gaming before going over to the manor or just winding down for the night. The last bar happens to be the best one on a private island, whether it's Coco Cay, Castaway Cay, or Bimini Beach. The best bar that I personally like is the swim-up bar at the Oasis Lagoon. The swim-up bar is cool because it does have bar seats. You literally have your feet in the water during the time you could swim up to it. And the place really kicks up the energy when the DJ starts playing. That seems to be the most festive area of the island on Coco Cay. The drinks could be watered down because of, you'll have to watch my video on whether or not cruise ships water down drinks, where I ordered a double and it really turned out to be a single. That's how much they water it down. But then again, you'll hear in the video that it's my opinion that all those outdoor bars water down drinks for good reason. But anyway, that place is a must. It's a stop every time that we go on Coco Cay. Whether it's a chilly day, we still go in the water and we still have to order a drink there. So that's my list as far as the best bars on the cruise ships that I've been on. Again, the Disney ships, Virgin Voyages, and 4 Royal Caribbean ships. Let me know down below in the comments what's your favorite bars. whether it's on one of those ships or it's on a ship that I haven't been on whatsoever. Again, these are my opinions. Would love to hear yours. And there's a lot of other bars I didn't mention. They just get honorable mentions at this point. Vintage's Wine Bar, they don't make the list anymore because their Royal's not really, it's kind of taking them away from even a wine bar. They're turning it more into a mainstream type of bar with limited wine, ironically. And then we have the Sip Lounge on Virgin Voyages. That was a favorite spot. I didn't know where to quite throw that in. And then Boleros on the Oasis style ships. So there's so many to choose from. I didn't include some of even the bars that are in some of the entertainment venues. There's some good ones there as well. But I would love to hear from you. Again, I'm Edwin Balloy. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video.